I'm TJ Cheney with Elite Functional Performance. Along with being a trainer here, I also used to be a client. I started working at Elite Functional Performance in January of 2018. I am a personal trainer here. I'm certified through NASM, and I also have a certification in corrective exercise, and then also just recently did my sports performance certification as well. So growing up, came from a sports background. I've been playing baseball since I was 6 years old. Started playing high school football my freshman year, and then that kind of turned out to be my main sport. Got a couple offers, D2 offers, but mostly D3 offers to go play college football. But I decided to, kind of focus more on my studies. So I didn't end up playing football in college, but I always stuck with sports, intramural sports, still playing baseball and softball right now. So sports for me has just, always been a part of my life. My running style playing football, I was more of I would say, kind of, like dynamic, cutting back and forth. Speed was always, my strong suit. But I would say more agility was probably stronger for me, quick cuts back and forth, kind of getting in and out of the line. And then once I hit, that breakaway speed, it's pretty much over from there. So it's pretty fast, I'd like to say so, yeah. Check out the highlight tape. So I've had multiple injuries on my right knee specifically, 3 surgeries now. But the first injury came, I believe it was my first year out of college. It was 2014 or 15. I was playing flag football, and I went to plant and cut back inside. I tore my ACL, so that was my first, pretty significant injury that I had. And then 2018 is when I had a pretty traumatic injury in which I ruptured my quadricep tendon on the same leg. And I say ruptured, but it was kind of worse than that. It wasn't your traditional quadricep tendon, injury. I actually had a pretty bad accident where I sliced through it and severed everything. So it was a clean cut right through my tendon. So that was definitely the worst injury I've had. And luckily, I was already here at EFP. So Rich kind of took me through, all of my rehab on my right leg. So the quadricep tendon, my previous ACL injury, we did some work with that. So again, not only am I a trainer here, but I've also been through the process myself. So after surgery, I had to pretty much be on the couch, lay flat. I was in a big brace. Had to keep it straight for 2 weeks, couldn't put any pressure on it, so no walking for 2 weeks. And then after that 2-week period is when me and Rich kind of dove into the start of, the whole rehab process. And the first thing with that was just getting the mobility back. So obviously being stiff for 2 weeks, and that tendon, being grafted together, we had to slowly work that mobility back and get that range of motion back. Once we kind of got to a point where I could bend it enough to do other things, we did some soft tissue work in which, Rich would take some of the scraping tools and kind of get in very lightly on the tendon and around the tendon. And then we just got right into pretty much trying to strengthen the quad itself and all the muscles around it. So with that, we started with some leg extensions, did a lot of hamstring work, and then really just from that, we just kind of gradually, progressed through it, and just whether it's, increasing load or increasing weight on squats or deadlifts, just whenever I felt like I can push it to the next level, we just, would kind of take it there when I was ready. Working with Rich was awesome. I wouldn't have wanted to work with anybody else, especially knowing him before, and him, teaching me so much prior to this injury. This just kind of continued that teaching, and just kind of the right steps to get me where I wanted to be and to where I am today. Rich, he's dealt with quad rehab, like a quad tendon tear. But again, mine's a little different, so he had to go out and do, additional research, which obviously I appreciate that, him going above and beyond for me to help me out and try to get me fully recovered as quickly as possible. So I'm very fortunate to have known Rich, to know Rich. He, got me to where I am today, both, on the career side of things. I'm continuing to learn from him every day. And then back to my sports performance myself, after my injury, I wasn't sure that I, would play any sports to the capacity that I would like to. But he got me through my rehab in, a good amount of time and got me back on my feet and moving around, cutting, jumping, running, all stuff that I love to do. So, I would definitely recommend Rich and any of the trainers here at Elite Functional Performance, whether it is, you are suffering from any kind of injury, post-surgery, or if you just want to, get better, be stronger, get stronger. If you're playing any sports, if you want to, dominate and, be on the higher end of your level, Elite Functional Performance is the place to be.
So if you like what you saw about this video today, then be sure to leave us your information on our website so we can get you scheduled for a complimentary analysis session.